Hello everyone, this is Moses from Zaatar Gardens, and once again, if you're following along, you know what Lulu's doing. So this past few days, all of California got really windy. I'm in Central California Zone 9B. All of California got really windy and really cold. And here in Central California, for the past 2 days or 3 days, we've gotten to 34 and 32 degrees Fahrenheit. I really wanted to ensure that I help this area, especially because of these mangoes here. The two mangoes, Glen and Manila. Got some papaya here, some more papaya on the side of the house, my big cherimoya. Moringa, well, moringa's gonna go dormant anyways. But I wanted to come out here when it was 34 or below and put the barbecue pit over here and a fire pit, maybe over here actually, away from the trees, but keep it warm in this area to ensure that my mangoes don't die off. This is newly planted. I'll put a video on the screen right now of relatively the time when I planted it, so you can see what it used to look like. There was frost on it, light frost, not much, when it was 32 degrees, and nothing. There's no damage. It's been a few days since then. Well, this is grasshopper, but there's no damage. None. The buds are still there. I mean, it's not going to do nothing. It needs a lot of warmth to grow out. But I'm just simply amazed. And I get a lot of questions on why I planted 2 mangoes in one spot. The reason why is this is an experiment. The denser I could have a canopy, the more I can control the temperature in this location. If it's just one little stick, like, let's see if you could really see it. If it's just like this by itself, one tree, it's a lot harder to keep it warm as opposed to having another tree to hold in some more heat and make one big greenhouse around it, or put Christmas tree lights, C9 bulbs, incandescent bulbs around it to keep it warm and have a denser foliage so when the summer heat comes or anything, it can survive better. So, I've seen YouTube videos where mango trees that are 30 feet tall as these trees in the neighbor's house, planted 5 feet away from each other. So now, am I going to allow it to get that big? First of all, if it gets that big, that's amazing. This is the Manila. It branched out a lot faster than the Glen, and that's most likely because the Manila is a seedling and this is a grafted variety. The graft, unfortunately, is way up high. You can see it right here, but it's doing pretty good. And right now I want to talk about other interesting things I'm seeing in the garden. You want to go walk around with me in the garden, Lulu? Some interesting, cool things that are happening in almost the middle of November. Let's go. Okay, right over here is a pixie grape, a dwarf grape. I'm going to show you something that's interesting. It's never happened before. Look right here. It's trying to produce more grapes. Isn't that really cool? I have a lot of papayas right over in this location. I have 3 locations of papaya. This is the oldest one. You can see the base of it. Now it's still producing flowers and fruit. Now I'm just going to remove these today. I just wanted to film it so you could see. So almost middle of November, it's still producing flowers. Now, if I could catch the limb, there we go. You could see that the moringa is producing more flowers. This hasn't happened before in this time of year. It's almost every branch, including next to those papayas. There was more moringas over there. So you can see some more right here. Really interesting that they're producing more flowers. They're going to be dried up and used in tea. Here is my white Subel sapote. I have another one over here, a Vernon sapote over there. I'll link a video in the description of a dessert I made of that fruit. In this time of year, I've never seen this much production of flowers and little fruit. You can see the little fruit here if it focuses. There we go. So every branch tip has all these flowers. Never have I had this much. Now, I have been foliar feeding like crazy this year, with seaweed and fish emulsion. But like I said, I've never had this much production this time of year. Now here is my cherimoya. This time of year, I've never had the cherimoya produce new leaves. So I've never had this before. This would end somewhere in the beginning of October, end of September, but not middle of November. Still nice, beautiful leaves. Nice and large, you can see. And for anyone that saw the passion fruit flowers, especially this variety, never really stop. So this happened last year. I'm in my front yard now, and I have a fig here. It sometimes produces figs like this for next year, early next year consumption. Jeez. But never this much. So every branch has that much fruit that you just saw, just like this. Look at this. Look at all that. Now, I really do think this is from me foliar feeding like crazy this past month, almost weekly, but I've never had this much production in the middle of November. And while I'm here next to the fig, I've never had this many lavender flowers this time of year. But this will change very quickly. Prune my elderberries back, and in the elderberries I have strawberries, and I noticed that they're flowering and producing strawberries in the middle of November. Now that will go away soon once we get some heavier frost, but pretty cool stuff. Alright everybody, happy gardening. You want to say bye, Lulu? Come here. Come here. What are you doing now? Happy gardening, everyone.